Good morning, students, and welcome back to the physics class. Now, in this class, we are going to continue with the chapter that is electricity and magnetism. So, in the previous class, we had already started with the topic magnet, and we had discussed about the property magnetism. So, in that case, if you remember, we have talked about electromagnets. Electromagnets means with the help of electricity, when you convert a piece of iron or steel into a magnet, that will behave like electromagnet. Means till the supply of electricity is there, it will keep on behaving like a magnet. As soon as the supply of electricity is cut off, it will stop behaving like a magnet when it is a temporary magnet. Okay. Now, since we have prepared electromagnets, so there should be some uses of it. There has to be some applications of that electromagnet. So let us talk about applications of electromagnet. Now, electromagnets are used in various industries, in various ways also. So let us talk about that. In first case, in electric motors. So if you find any type of motors which is working with the help of electricity, so they all have electromagnets. Electric bell also, it also works on the principle of electromagnetism, and electronic switches also. So these are three types of simple applications which you can see in day-to-day life. Electric motors, everybody has seen mixer grinder and those things. They are known as electric motors. Okay. Then electric bell is there, and then electronic switches are there. Now after that, it is also used for lifting heavy loads of iron, vehicles and scraps. Okay, so if any big iron riders are there, any scraps made up of iron is there, vehicle made up of iron is there. So what happens? Suppose they have one crane, and in that crane they have a large electromagnet. Okay. Now, whenever this electromagnet is brought closer to this iron, and when you put on the supply of current, it will start behaving like a very, you can say, strong magnet. And in that situation, it will going to attract these iron pieces or iron scraps towards it. Okay. And then wherever you have to carry it, you can carry that object, that iron, and there you switch off the supply of current, and that electromagnet will stop behaving like magnet anymore, and it will release that iron over there. So vehicles, large pieces of iron or scraps, it can be you can say it can be sent from one place to another place easily with the help of electromagnet. So for lifting heavy loads, so whenever you want to lift heavy loads of that is made up of iron, it can be large vehicles also, trucks and all, and scraps. So these can be transferred by the help of electromagnets. Now in mining industry also, mining industry means where mining of iron generally takes place. So there also electromagnet is used to separate those iron ores from other materials. Now it is also used to deflect beam of electrons in television. So in CRT television, in old televisions, electrons are being thrown. Basically, that you will learn in higher classes how that effect takes place. So in that case, whenever they want to deflect the electrons, they use electromagnets again. So electromagnets are used in motors also, electric motors, electric bell, electric switches. It is used for carrying the heavy loads or lifting the heavy loads made up of iron and all. Then it is used in mining industries also, and then it is used in old televisions also. So they are having so many wide uses. And in other uses also there, you can identify those uses where electromagnets are used. So this is about uses of electromagnet, that is applications of electromagnet. Now after knowing about the applications of electromagnet, let us talk about the factors on which the strength of electromagnet depends. Now basically electromagnets are artificial magnets. We can prepare it. So in that situation, we have the capability to increase the strength of electromagnet also, and we can decrease the strength. That means if you want a weak electromagnet, you can prepare a weak electromagnet. If you want a very strong electromagnet, very powerful electromagnet, you can convert it into a powerful electromagnet also. So basically these few things are there which you have to remember. First thing, the strength of the electromagnet depends on the amount of current means if you remember that suppose we use cell. Instead of using a cell, you can use a battery also, you can use more powerful source. So whatever amount of current supply you will give, according to that the strength of electromagnet will also increase. So more the strength of the current is increased, more the strength of the electromagnet is also going to be increased. So how much amount of current is supplied? On that factor, the strength of the electromagnet depends. Second one, it depends upon the number of turns in the coil. So number of turns we have placed with the help of the wire. If you increase the number of turns, you will find that the strength of the electromagnet is also increased. If you decrease the number of number of turns, you will find that the strength of the electromagnet has also decreased. So these are the two important factors on which the strength of electromagnet depends. Okay, now since we know the application of electromagnetism, okay, and we know how to increase or decrease the strength of electromagnetism, let us talk about one very common application, that is electric bell. So let us talk about the working of electric bell, how electric bell works, on what principle the electric bell works. So basically an electric bell works on the principle of electromagnetism. Means till the supply of electricity is there, it will behave like a magnet and the electric bell will going to work, or you can hear the sound. As soon as the current supply will be switched off, you will stop hearing the sound. So how does it work? Before that, this is a diagram which I am trying to show you of electric bell, which consists of different components, different parts. It consists of a gong, which is made up of metal, and consists of a hammer. Whenever this hammer is going to strike on the gong, it will going to hit on the gong, the sound will going to produce. Okay. So basically sound will going to produce from here whenever the hammer will going to hit the gong. But the whole thing will happen with the help of electricity. Why and when this hammer will going to hit the gong? Because it is not a manual thing that manually you will go and hit it on the gong. It has to be worked with the help of electricity. Because a person will simply switch on the current and electricity supply will be on and the hammer will hit the gong. So how this will happen? So this consists of hammer and gong, first thing. Then over here, iron piece is there which is known as armature. So this hammer is connected with the iron, which is a good that is an electromagnet, that is a magnetic material that will be attracted by a magnet. So it will consist of an armature that is made up of soft iron. It is connected to a spring, and with the help of a spring, adjustable screw is there. So one screw is there that is known as adjustable screw. It can be tightened, it can be loosened also, but we don't require to do that right now. We simply know, we have to learn that it consists of a screw, spring. Why spring? Because the spring will going to attract and pull back that screw away from this armature. Then a wire is there. This wire is connected with the switch, and it is connected with the cell, and the wire will take a loop from here and it will come to this electromagnet. These are two U-shaped iron pieces, and over here this wire has been wound. Whenever the current will pass through this wire, this iron piece will start behaving like an electromagnet. So U-shaped electromagnet is used. Which kind of electromagnet is used? U-shaped, because we require both the poles on the same side. So strength of the electromagnet is going to increase. So parts of parts of electric bell, gong is there, hammer is there, spring is there, adjustable screw is there, armature is there which is made up of soft iron. It consists of a switch also to control the flow of current. It consists of a cell, the source of current, then the wire is there, then U-shaped electromagnet is there. Okay, so these are parts of this electric bell. Now, how this will work? Because we should know the working of electric bell. So first of all, whenever you want to see the working of electric bell, always put on the supply of current. As soon as the switch will be put in the condition of on, what will happen? The supply of current will start. Now current will start flowing from positive terminal like this. So the direction of current will start like this. From positive terminal will flow toward this, and it will come to this portion there. Screw. Now screw is in contact. Suppose screw is in contact with this armature, so the current supply will pass through the armature, and as soon as the current supply will pass through the armature, what will happen? It will flow through this wire and it will flow through this coil which is present over this U-shaped electromagnet. As soon as the current supply will be on, as soon as the current supply will be on, it will start behaving like a magnet. So what happened? Electricity supply started from the cell, from the positive terminal, it will pass through the switch because we have put on the switch. It will pass through this wire, it will pass through the screw. Now the screw is in contact with this armature, so current electricity will pass through this armature, it will flow through this and come to this wire. Now through the wire, the electricity will pass through this electromagnet. As soon as electricity will pass through this electromagnet will come into working position. Means it will start behaving like a magnet. So earlier it was simple iron, but as soon as the electricity passes through it, it will start behaving like a magnet. Now since it has started behaving like a magnet, what will happen? It will attract this armature. Why it will attract this armature? Because armature is made up of iron, and this has become electromagnet. So we know that magnets are capable of attracting iron. So as soon as it will pull down the iron, this armature will come down. And as soon as it will come down, the hammer which is connected with the armature, it will also going to come down. And this will take place within fraction of a second. This procedure is very quick because the current supply will be very fast. So as soon as the current supply will come, this armature will come down, and with the armature, the hammer which is in contact with the armature, it will also come down with a huge force and it will hit on the gong. As soon as it will hit on the gong, the sound will produce. Now please listen. As soon as the armature has come down, the contact between the screw and the armature has broken. Means earlier they were in contact like this, but since the armature is being attracted by this electromagnet, U-shaped electromagnet, the armature will come down, and thus you can see that the contact has broken. Okay, the contact has been cut off. Now since the contact is no more, will the supply of current will continue? No. The supply of current cannot pass from this screw to the armature. As soon as the supply of current will stop, this U-shaped electromagnet will stop behaving like a magnet anymore. So this is a very fast procedure. Okay, remember, this is not taking so much of time. Within fraction of a second, all these things are happening. So what will happen? As soon as it will pull down this armature, it will attract the armature, the supply of current will be switched off. Okay, and as soon as the supply of current will be switched off, this electromagnet will stop behaving like a magnet anymore. Now since it is not behaving like a magnet anymore, it will not going to attract armature anymore because the power supply is off. So a spring which is present over it will pull that armature back. So armature which came down, it will go up again with a force because the spring is pulling it up. Now since the spring is pulling it up, again the screw and the armature will come in contact. Now as soon as the armature screw is coming in contact, what will happen? Again the supply of current will start. As soon as the current will start, the current will flow through this U-shaped electromagnet and it will again pull down this armature, it will attract the armature. As soon as the armature will come down, again the hammer will strike. So this procedure will take place alternatively. The hammer will go up, it will come down, go up, it will come down. And this is how it will keep on banging the gong again and again till the supply of current is there, and the sound will going to be produced continuously. But as soon as you switch off the current, the switch has been put into off condition. Now no more supply of current is there. It will not behave like a magnet. Armature will not get attracted by the magnet, and the gong and hammer will never come in contact. So whenever the supply of current is on, from the current will pass through the screw to the armature to this electromagnet. It will pull the electromagnet down, and with the electromagnet, with this armature, the hammer will also come down. It will hit the gong, and sound will be produced. So this is a very simple way of understanding how an electric bell works. Okay. So you have to understand the working of electric bell, and it is there in the book also. You can read it properly and you can learn it. Okay. So basically, instead of learning the things, you can understand with the help of diagram. It will be more easier for you to understand, and you can elaborate it. Okay. So this is the whole working of electric bell. So we have electromagnetism. We have discussed how to increase or decrease the strength of electromagnetism. Then we have learned the working of electric belts. So till here you have to study the topic which is related to magnetism and electricity. Okay, thank you students.